Okay, we're gonna start with internal and external rotation. I just want you to support the upper body with the hands, roll, trying to bring that knee to the heel and back and forth. When you find those end ranges of motion, hold, breathe, probably 3 to 5 seconds, back and forth. What I would do is set a timer and just kind of move through that back and forth for about 30 seconds. Since we're on lower body, I would stay there. Come on your back, foot flexed, support the leg, head back. You're going to extend as far as you can extend that hamstring, contracting the quad. Count 1, 2, 3. Keep the other foot so that the toes are pointing towards the ceiling. What will happen oftentimes is that foot will roll out. So I would go 10 reps, holding 3 to 5 seconds on each side. That's going to address that internal and external rotation of the hips. Also, hopefully over time, take some tension off those hamstrings so that we can keep a flatter, more lordotic curve in that low back when you get into a dress position. From there, we need to begin to address the upper back. We went through a variety of things. Where I would start when we talk about the thoracic spine is it's going to be opening up the pecs and getting that extension back. The other thing we'll work on is that rotation. So a couple things with the foam roller. One, the most passive stretch we have is laying long way. I would make sure your head's on there and just letting those arms, gravity work on those arms and have them slowly come out. I'd start about perpendicular to the spine with the humerus, work your way up, and again, just laying there, breathing, keeping that low back pressed into the foam roller and letting gravity work on those pecs to open up that anterior cavity. From there, you're gonna go perpendicular. I would start with the foam roller at about the middle of the scapula, let the head drop, let the arms drop, low back. Shouldn't get into an excessive arch. After about 20 seconds, release that tension, roll back about an inch. Now we're on the lower scap with the roller. It's more of an opening stretch for that thoracic spine. After 20 seconds, if you can tolerate without any pain, maybe another inch, and really open and breathe through that. So from there, we've done a couple things to kind of open up that chest, improve extension, because without extension, we can't have rotation. The next thing I would do would be to move to the side and work on that rotation. Bottom leg straight, top leg here, head down, rotate around. I follow the hand with the eyes, breathe into that in position, back over the top. I'm looking for about 10 reps each side with that one. Do your best to keep the knee and the foot in contact with the foam roller as we roll around that clock and find that position. Now don't contort yourself to get to the ground. You'll find it. This right here is not bad. I could probably be 5 to 10 degrees better and have better rotation there. And there's several other things we can do to address this. These are just some basics and kind of a level one to jump off. Broomstick, whatever you need. A bench, a chair, whatever. Elbows stay in line with the shoulders. We don't want them way out here. I'm going to press my butt toward my heels and then come back with my hands. Breathe into that. You'll feel a stretch in the shoulder girdle, the triceps, and across the thoracic spine. I would hold that about 10 seconds. I'd release, I'd do it again. 3 rounds of that will go a long way for you in opening up that upper back. We will use this again. If you have, and this is all really mobility, active mobility, a ball. One more for that pec minor. We talked about this, is driving that humeral head back so that we get the shoulder blade, the scapula to move away from the sternum. So it's not turning away and getting that pec minor, it's compressing and pushing that humeral head away to try to get to that pec minor. and breathing into it, holding 15 to 20 seconds, and really feeling that deep stretch as I drive the ball into that humeral head. Probably 3 to 5 reps there, and that's really an important one and really a stubborn muscle. To finish your daily self-care with this upper back, hip mobility, level 1 stuff would be beginning to have some kinesthetic awareness posturally of where you are. So dowel rod, whatever. What we're looking for here, hips should be right under, knees should be right under hips. This stick should be parallel to the ground. My points of contact should be my sacrum, my thoracic spine, and my head. The first level would be to keep that belly button up so that I don't end up with this huge arch in my low back. When I do, I lose my point of contact at the thoracic spine. When I press up into more kyphosis, which we're trying to get away from, I lose my points of contact with my sacrum and my head. So use those as your stimulus as to how this is going. I bring my hands back so they're under shoulders. I'm going to drive that foot straight back to where I'm parallel to the ground. Now, I can tell you I got a little more lordotic there. So belly button up, correct? And then once I'm comfortable with that, raise out at a 45 from the spine, thumb up, trying to be parallel to the ground, keeping that chin tucked so there's the back of my head, not the top of my head. And there's my stimulus as to whether I got in a bad position or not. So again, lifting that head versus tucking that chin is something you want to be aware of. The goal here is 5 reps, 10 seconds each without losing the stick. So I find my points of contact, hands under, knees under, drive back, lift up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I come back to center, make sure I'm good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd get 5 reps, I'd go to the other side. Pretty intense, believe it or not. That's tough for me to get, eventually I'd love to see you get 10 reps, getting that 5 seconds. And then you'll have a really good feel for what your posture is doing in space as you move. Once that's successful, then we would move into a more dynamic where you're bringing the knee to the elbow and shooting straight back out while maintaining the balance of that stick. So there's level 1. If you work through that for 2 weeks, I think you're making incredible progress just in those 2 weeks. So let me know what questions you have. Thanks.